A very good morning to everybody watching this video. Today I will be talking about the Jennette McCurdy memoir called I'm Glad My Mom Died. I almost cringe even saying it because it's I don't even want to speak something like that into existence. And when I first heard the title, I was I'm sure she has a reason for saying that, but I still sounds kind of weird, hearing that. Then I saw the picture and it's like an urn with confetti in it, and I'm like, no, I don't even After reading the book, obviously there's a reason why she would say that, because her mother just viciously abused her for years, her entire childhood. So I do support her, artistic freedom to say that and express herself in that way. And it definitely does do the job of getting the people's attention. A few things that I wanted to talk about in this book. When I think about this book, the one word that I think of is that it comes off as very raw. And the only other celebrity memoir shit off of my dome that I know that I read is the Britney Spears memoir, The Woman in Me. And I thought that book was very raw. Just in the fact that she was telling details about her life and whatever, which is that's what you're supposed to do in a memoir. Specifically when I read about, her aborting her and Justin Timberlake's child. But then when you get to this book, it's just amplified because it's years and years and years of specific events that happened. But Jennette McCurdy is more of a writer by trade. So the way that she describes all of this stuff just amplifies the next level. So one example that I have of this is I wanted to share page 90. So she was I guess she's a teenager or a tween, and she started growing breasts, and she didn't like this. So she told her mother, what can I do? And her mother said, well, sweetheart, if you really want to know how to stay small, there's the secret thing you can do, ... It's called calorie restriction. So this is when she started to develop anorexia, stopped eating or eating very small portions, restricting what she's eating. Then when you go a little bit, 2 paragraphs down, it's her mother talking about when she started getting anorexia. She said, once when I was falling asleep as a child, I heard my mom and dad talking in the other room. They said my brother could eat anything and his metabolism would work it right off, but that anything I ate turned to fat. Those words got to me, Net. They really did. I've been restricting ever since. So in this one page of the book, she's showing how not only her mother instilled in her an eating disorder, but how her mother got an eating disorder from her parents. And that's a really crazy thing, because a lot of times with abuse or whatever, you think, you want to be better. You don't want to, you want to raise your children and not have them go through the same things that you did. But a lot of times people go from being the victim and the abused to then becoming the abuser again. So that one page, it just shows how Jennette McCurdy's eating disorder comes from the person who gave birth to the person who gave birth to her. So that was a really crazy thing just to see across 3 paragraphs. Another part in here, Jennette McCurdy's mother is just a narcissist. This book is really, to me, I feel like a case study of how narcissists act and twist things, and you think that you're doing everything by help. It's really insane. But one part of this that I thought was so insane was that, so Jennette McCurdy's father was caught watching adult films. And so Jennette's mother kicked him out of the house, whatever. That's a totally different thing. And from that time, Jennette's mother insisted that she call her father by his first name, Mark. And Jennette did that until her mother died. How crazy is that? That regardless of, the personal actions of, the father, if you don't want to be with him, that's fine. You can leave him, do whatever. But how dare you have your daughter consistently for years disrespect him by calling him his first name as if he's not still her father? That's really insane work to me, that you would undermine the other parent in that way. That was insane work to me. Another thing in this book, her mother was having an affair. Jennette and I think 2 of her brothers are from another man. And even as Jennette's mother was on her deathbed for a long period of time, they thought she was going to die, but she kept surviving. She never admitted to her. So you basically, this lie robbed your daughter of a chance, and your other two sons, of a chance of having a relationship with their biological parent, which is not to say that, you know, Jennette's father, Mark, isn't her father in that he wasn't a father to her, but the way that you robbed her of that, that's really crazy work. That's another thing, that how do you do something like that? Another thing that struck me about this book was the idea that it's kind of like an eating disorder is a choice in the sense that you're choosing to eat disorderly. Like if you have anorexia and you're not eating, you're choosing to not eat. But the reason why you're not eating is caused by thoughts in your head that you don't choose. Like you don't choose to think, you know, oh, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. A lot of times it's something that somebody else instilled into you. Oh, you don't look good in that. And then you think about that and then you're like, oh, what can I do about this? And one of the things that really struck me about that is the fact, but the thing is, even though you're choosing to not eat or you're choosing to make yourself throw up, you don't want to do that. Like you don't want to be sick. And there were two different things that really brought that out to me in this book. Because this book was also like a masterclass in like the mind of somebody with an eating disorder and how it starts and how different things it goes into, different phases it goes through. The one point was that Jennette McCurdy had eaten and then she was like, oh, she needs to throw up. The first time she tried to throw up, she couldn't do it. It shows to me that she didn't want to be doing that. And it was not until later that she once again revisited the idea of throwing up, and then she finally started throwing up. It's not as if she wanted to be doing that. Like, it was painful for her, and she kept trying, and she kept trying. And then another thing, when she was trying to get over her bulimia, this is on page 202, she had put her food into the garbage can so that she wouldn't, you know, overeat and, I guess, binge eat. I run back to the trash can and pull out the takeout box. I stuff my mouth with eggs and chew rapidly. What am I doing? I need to stop. I need to stop. I spit out the half-chewed eggs into the trash can. I grab a perfume bottle from the bathroom and squirt some on the remaining food to guarantee that I won't eat any more of it. But then I eat more of it. The perfume makes me gag. I throw up. So now she's at the point where she wants to change her life. She wants to not throw up anymore. She wants to stop doing this. She wants to eat healthily. So she takes precautions to not do that. So she throws the food away. She puts perfume on it so she won't eat it. She so, you know, mentally disordered in her eating, thinkings, and habits and thoughts about her body that she eats the food with perfume on it. Then she throws it up. She didn't want to throw up. She wanted to stop even just the binge eating, the eating too much before she got to that point. But then the thing that she did to stop herself from throwing up, or from eating it and then throwing up, made her throw up. It was really like in this book, every single measure that she did, she just couldn't fight it. Because her body got so used to it, it just kept happening and kept happening. She didn't want it to be like this, but it just kept happening. And another thing of this detail, another detail of this book that I just found to be very raw was she was in, I think it was a flight going to Australia. So she's throwing up in the bathroom. All of a sudden she sees something like white in the toilet bowl. It's her tooth. Her tooth, from throwing up, the acid in her mouth eroded the enamel on her tooth. Now her tooth is out. And it's like, there's things like that, clear signs of her health depleting, but she so much just can't stop that she keeps doing it. And it once again really proves that she doesn't want to live like this, but that's just what it's come to. And then there was one more part of the book that was really, really striking to me. So I guess, you know, when you make yourself throw up, you like stick your fingers down your throat. She was talking about how she was in Disneyland bathroom and she was checking the other bathroom stalls before she went to make herself throw up, just to make sure that nobody else is in there. And the reason why she started doing that was before she was in a Disneyland bathroom and she was throwing up, and then all of a sudden she saw a little hand under the toilet stall door, and it was a little girl asking for her to sign her autograph book, but she couldn't do it because she had vomit on her hand from throwing up, so she couldn't get vomit on the girl's book. That was a really striking, because it's little things that you don't think about, things that like you wouldn't think would affect all these different little things, that it would impact all these different parts of your life. So yeah, that was what I thought about the Jennette McCurdy memoir. I thought it was pretty interesting to read. When I first saw it, I was like, this is a lot of pages. There's a lot of words on the pages. But like as I was reading it, it was like, wow, this is stuff that I did not know. Because aside from, you know, like the Britney Spears memoir, that's the only thing I, you know, can compare it to. There's like different things that like we knew happened. So for example, the MTV Video Music Awards, like we know that she performed there with the Snakes. Then we just get more things from her stuff. Now, Jennette McCurdy, we knew that she starred in iCarly, but we didn't know all this background stuff. We didn't know all this stuff that was going on in the scenes. And it really, really just, it's crazy how it just came to light. But yeah, you know, talk your truth, you know what I'm saying? So that was what I thought about the book. If anybody else wants to read it or has read it or has any thoughts, let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the video.